Robots. Gotta watch out. They steal old people's medicine, if you didn't know. That video is on YouTube. Feel free to check it out. That's not hearsay. It's actually an old Saturday Night Live sketch. It was very popular back in the day, along with old classic Saturday Night Live commercials like, what was it, Colon Blow, and Oops, I Crapped My Pants. Yeah, those are the good old days. Oh, and then, of course, clownpenis.fart. So, we've got an article that we wrote on Locker Gnome about really none of those things, but I was looking for some kind of fun segue. And I don't mean the segue you ride around on. I mean the segue of getting from one part of something to another. Segue. It looks like segue. If you ever read it, it's segue. How robots are slowly taking over the job market. You probably could look around yourself right now, and what you have is potentially not made by hand, but by machine. Some people might complain, they took our job! Well, they might have taken your job. And that's likely going to happen even if they hadn't taken your job. It may happen at some point in the future, but you shouldn't freak out because there's another opportunity. If you know how robots work or can repair them, there's a lot of money to be made in robotics. So even if they have replaced your skill or somebody that you know, their skill, they can still you learn a new skill, a new trade. And, robots are not going away. They are everywhere. Grocery stores, have you noticed them? Every grocery store is equipped with robots. The robots enable me to, well, I guess it wouldn't really be a robot. The electronics really allow me to interact with my groceries, interact with them. Hello, T. I'm going to buy you. Okay, Chris, but don't drink me. Oh, no. It's a horrible interaction with T. I can self-checkout thanks to electronics. I don't have to go through somebody who is a skilled grocery checker, a clerk, a checkout person. I can do it all myself thanks to the miracle of technology. Now, granted, these aren't like walking, talking robots, but not every robot has to walk and talk. I mean, that I don't think is the definition of a robot or something that can do something that a human being could do, but do it better, and certainly not get injured at the same time. Dock workers certainly have relied on robotics. Vehicles that are assembled rely on robotics. Even call centers. When you pick up the phone, if you still do that physically, pick up the phone and you call in and you're interacting with some kind of voice response system, an IVR, I believe is the acronym, that's a robot. It's doing a job that a human being was doing previously, or certainly facilitating the process. And if you are, working in a field that, could potentially be, I guess, changed by the introduction of robotics and electronics, you got to think ahead. Think about developing, different skills. Now, one possibility, and this isn't really skill set, but Johnny Boy Live mentions here in the live YouTube broadcast, I'd love to be a cyborg. Crime is up because of robots, says Octasian. I'm not exactly sure where you get your statistics. I've never heard of a robot holding up a person, on the street. Could happen. I'm not saying good robots can go bad, but as long as they adhere to the 3 laws of robotics, hopefully, we'll get along together. A machine that resembles a human and does mechanical routine tasks on command, says Oh Pure Ghost. One classic definition of a robot, but it's evolving. Just like robots and the idea of robots evolve, because I would consider these huge contraptions that look nothing like a human being. Robots are certainly using the logic of a robot to do tasks, pulling things off of shelves, moving things around. There are manufacturing floors that getting components from one side of the warehouse to another completely controlled by robots. I don't like IBM robots, so says Mats417. They are horrible and don't speak English. Sky Blue Dar says they will eventually win and take over Planet of the Robots. Or maybe the future will be like The Matrix, possibly. If not, iRobot. which was a classic. We talked about classic sci-fi novels last week. If you want a good one, I, Robot. Maybe get employment talking like a robot. It says Imbalance by Design. That's a possibility. Some people thought that I was a robot because I never seemed to sleep online. A humanoid robot is not the only robot, says Abe Arbeck Christian. Sorry, I have to read these user. I wish I had a robot to read these usernames because they could probably like nail them. Only Bender robots, says Morton Snofkin. Oh, wouldn't a Futuramic future be awesome? I'd like one robot, the vacuum cleaner of my house, says Habitavar. Robots took over the auto industry, so says someone else. So, what do you think about robots taking over the job force? Potentially supplanting the value of you. I think there are more opportunities than opportunities being taken away. Robots are, if you know your way around them, good job opportunity, I would say. In fact, they're talking now, and I think, I don't know if I've seen them, but I know they exist, at least in the Bay Area. Google has cars that are driverless. These are, you consider them like robot cars. They've got an intelligence unto themselves based on a set of parameters and rules. This is the future. And if you're not used to it, well, your future's going to suck. Mine's going to be awesome. I, for one, welcome our new robotic overlords.